Hello, and welcome to this episode of our online learning hub here at Blast Intermediate Unit 17. My name is Rebecca Gibney, and I'm the coordinator of professional learning at IU 17. And I'm excited today to talk to you about the importance of engineering and really just an overview, an introduction of what is engineering. Why do we need engineering in Pennsylvania? Why do we need it in our world? And what can you do today to have a better tomorrow for our students? So just take a moment and let's reflect and think about, what is your why for STEM in your district? What's your why for STEM education in your classroom? How much do you embed STEM concepts in your classroom? And if you need to take a moment and pause, write it down, feel free to pause this video and start it back up. But the idea, thinking that STEM is not just a silo. We focus on that at the state level. And even I know regionally here in our region, we've been focusing on that. How do we integrate STEM concepts across all grade levels, across all content areas? Because STEM is not just a silo. It should be taught in all areas. So take a moment and think about your why. Because when we think about engineering, but we have it with that STEM mindset. Engineering is all based around STEM concepts. And in fact, by the year of 2026, it's estimated that 75,000 new jobs, not even just current jobs, will be in STEM. And again, that's a lot of jobs that are going to be new, and it's a lot of jobs that are probably going to be somewhere dealing with engineering. We always talk about in our trainings that if you're a kindergarten teacher, a first grade teacher, a second grade teacher, you're educating the future, AKA your students, for jobs that don't even exist yet. And that's for me, like crazy to think about. I never thought about how we educate to the economy. But the more I'm in this role, the more I'm like, wow, it's really true. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. We know we're going to need these students to be competent and confident in STEM skilled jobs because, that's how we need to survive. If not, we're going to have a shortage. And so I think it's really important to keep that in mind and make sure that we're teaching these foundational skills starting at the youngest ages of pre-K and kindergarten. Don't say they're too young, they can't do it, because they can. And we need to teach them these skills. It may be different than how we were raised and brought up in education, but that's because what we needed then is not what we need now. And so, we have big dreams and we teach our students to dream big, dreams of flying cars, living in a world like the Jetsons. I saw something on social media the other day about like this past year has been more like the life of Jetsons than ever. And I couldn't agree more. Um, Big dreams. I'm a big dreamer, I know that, and I encourage everyone to dream big. We look at UNESCO sustainability goals, and we talk about access in third world countries to clean water. We talk about infrastructures, dreaming big. We always talk about it. And it's not our job to tell our students, no, it can't happen, because maybe it can. Look at where we were last year and where we are today. So many things have evolved in this world. Who can make these things happen? You, me, I mean, I don't know about you, but I've pretty much ingrained myself in the education field. So I guess I am influencing it because I'm talking and trying to create engineers out of, our students. But in a simple, like simply put, you and I, sure, people like us who choose to practice engineering, who choose to become engineers, they will solve the world's biggest mysteries, right? And we all know our world right now needs some more engineers. Again, we have big dreams and we keep dreaming bigger. So take a second and look around where you are. I'm in my office right now. What around you could not be where you are if it wasn't for engineers? I look at, I have earbuds, so I wouldn't be able to, um, drown out the sound around me. I love that they're soundproof. I have mechanical pencil, which I love. I have my mask. I have an Apple Watch, my phone. Like, these were all created and started with engineers, right? Like, I never thought about it until this presentation, but my mask, like, there's new ways that masks are being like produced every day. I never thought about it till this presentation. Now I'm on my rabbit hole. But mass, yes. Like engineers, they solve problems and make what we do every single day enjoyable and better without us even knowing it. Like I said, I haven't even thought about how mass, engineers create these things, right? So the idea of, what is engineering? Oh, and I'm really quickly, I'll link this in the notes, but if you click on engineering, it will take you to this video that goes in deeper from the National Science Foundation about what is engineering and these students that are dreaming of engineering. But, is engineering, does it look like this or this or this or this? Absolutely. Engineering looks like all of this. The question is do we teach engineering or engineering? And I think it's really interesting to talk about these two concepts here. Engineering with the little e, that's when we use it as a verb to teach all students to think or learn, to engineer, to use engineering concepts. This is what all of our kids, especially at the lower levels, need. They need these concepts, these ideas, the mindset. Whereas engineering with the big E, that's used as a noun as we prepare students to be engineers, career oriented. That's once they get to secondary, maybe they've decided possibly their pathway. It's when they're doing their job training, their engineering. I like this, idea here and the concept in this quote. The ingenuity of children is untapped, unrealized potential that when properly motivated, again, starting with that little e, engineering, it will lead to the next generation of innovators, designers, and engineers, those big E's. And I think that's really important to think about. So what skills might an engineer need? We can brainstorm a long list of these, but some just to start out: problem solving skills, creativity, curiosity. They are always wondering, is there a better way to do this? Is it more efficient? Remember, their end goal is that they're making our lives more enjoyable, better every single day. They have that growth mindset that they build maybe, and you build in your classroom, a safe place to fail. And they're a team player. They're a team player. They're always thinking, I could go on the list: resilience, collaboration, that goes with team player. Those 4 skills of the 21st century learner: critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, communication. They have to be able to communicate their thoughts. So when we think about engineering, I'm going to tell you right now, this is not even the whole list. It goes on and on and on. But there's different disciplines in engineering. The concepts of engineering, the little e, they're pretty standard across, but the big E, what the students could turn into, the career-oriented engineering, there's a number of things: mechanical, structural, electrical, aerospace engineering, environmental engineering, biomedical, and so forth, computer engineering. We need all of these. And I'm not sure we realize just how important and how much engineering is out there. So the question is now, what can we do in our classrooms today to make for a better tomorrow? You might say, Becky, I have absolutely none. I have no experience with engineering, and that's absolutely okay. But we have to give our students the opportunities to embrace and explore the engineering mindset. And so I really like that Engineering by Design has broken it into 3 different models of the engineering design process based off of grade level and its scaffolds. And I think that's really interesting concept, and I think it's beneficial. So if you teach grades K-2, start, majority of this region has been trained in StartSol. It's a great way to start the inquiry process, right? But you start with a problem, give them a problem, look for ideas, maybe together, model it with them a couple of times, develop some solutions, and then share the solutions, right? K-2, pretty simple right there. When you get to grades 3 to 5, what does it look like? It looks like you defining the problem or them defining the problem. This is a problem I'm having, or this is a problem I see in the world today. This is a problem I see in our local community. They generate ideas, they select solutions, test solutions. They make the item, maybe it's a prototype right now. They evaluate it, and then they present the skills. And again, this can be cyclical. Like you can go back and forth, you can define a problem again and so forth. And then when you get to 6 to 12, it gets a little bit more intense, as you can see. A lot more going on in this process, defining the problem, brainstorming possible solutions throughout this whole process, working together to brainstorm possible solutions, researching ideas. Again, I'm going to bring up Startseal. This is that whole Startseal process, researching ideas, exploring possibilities, specifying some constraints and identifying the criteria. What could be a problem? How do we need to fix that? Consider alternative solutions. Select the right approach, keeping it efficient and effective. Developed and design that proposal. So written design proposal, need some writing skills, right? Make the model or prototype, test and evaluate it. If it doesn't work, refine it and improve it. Create and make another product, and then communicate the results. All you have to do is simply start. That's all you need to do. I have tons and tons of different examples that I'm happy to share with you through this design process. Coming up here in the near future in the spring, we will be doing elementary or engineering is elementary trainings, as well as engineering by design process trainings. And I think both are beneficial, and you'll be able to choose what's best for you and your students. But again, the whole goal is that you start, because you never know if you're looking at someone in your classroom that's dreaming big, and they might be the next person that's going to come up with the solution, all because you planted the seed and helped them believe that they could find that right solution.